guys, so check this unboxing out. So we got the old Rambler 12 out of the box, and this thing is super cool. So a buddy brought it over, wanted to upgrade the runtime. He knows that's right up our alley. So last minute I was like, you know what? I should do an unboxing video because this is information that I would want to know. So this is for you guys to learn about this little guy. So obviously if you're looking at this, it's got a twist throttle. But what that means is it's just on off, but it's twist. It's just like pressing a gas pedal and it gives it the instant full voltage. There's not variable speed. You can't give it a little bit and it'll go slow. It doesn't work like that. It's got a drum brake. It says, they call it a Rambler 12, but it's actually got 12.5-inch tires. Odd. So here's the specs, 13 ages and up, 170-pound weight limit, which that's up there. It's got 250-watt motor. It's pretty cool. Weighs 47.7 pounds. Out of the box, it's fully assembled other than the handlebars. It comes with the 6mm Allen wrench, and you just clamp the 4 bolts down. Easy peasy. It's kind of nice because you can adjust it. If you got a small kid, you'd want to lay that back. Bigger kid, you'd want to lay it forward a little bit. And I was doing a little bit of research and actually make a big brother to this. It's the Rambler 16. Must be 16-inch tires, right? But let's focus in on this one. So here's the little bad dad. Like I said, he wanted us to upgrade the batteries. And what we have done is we squeezed in a larger battery. So this is the stock battery pack. 12 volt, 7 amp hours, 2 of them in series. And we were able to fit barely a 12 volt, 10 amp hour battery pack. And it fit in there. Here's a picture of it. It's a tight fit, but what you're getting is 30% more runtime. So the main thing with this video is it's kind of a plug and play. So these, the battery connector itself is soldered on. So you're gonna need a good soldering iron, and you have to desolder your wire connections and resolder them to the new battery pack. And it has 2 4mm bolts, and because they're taller, you're going to need longer bolts. And I'll put a link to in the description of these longer bolts and the spec. It's an M6, and they need to be longer to go down to the mount for the battery hold down. Other than that, it was pretty plug and play. Something I highly recommend is before you wire them up is to charge each battery independent so that you know that each one is fully charged, so that when you charge it with a stock charger, they're going to balance equally, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'm always looking at rides and what we can do to improve it. So it's a pretty small 250-watt motor, and unfortunately this bar is kind of blocking that, so you couldn't really put like a big motor on. Like what do I like to do? I like to put bigger stuff on. So that would be kind of a hindrance. But this is for a younger person. Here is the on and off switch. So you turn it on, twist the throttle, boom. Here is the charge port. Definitely want to keep that dust cover on because you wouldn't want moisture going straight down in there. Normally they're mounted on the side there instead of vertical. Got nice little mushroom grips. This is a drum brake. And it's just very stylish. It looks like a little doodlebug gas dirt bike, or whatever you want to call it. Mini bike, that's the word, mini bike. So I did have one last thing to talk about on the charger, because I'm always wondering about charging and what amp. So this outputs 1.5 amps. That's the rate that it's pumping into it, how fast it's going to charge. So we went with a bigger battery pack, so it's going to take longer to charge. So it does, this is the new one. I've never seen this model of charger before. So it's got a green indicator when you plug it into the wall. You plug it into the mini bike and it'll turn red. And when it turns green, my main question was, does it stop charging when light is green? So check this out. All right, so here's a little test. We've got the stock charger hooked up to the stock batteries. We had to do this separate, and it's putting out 30.1 volts. Now, this test is to establish when this light turns green, is it still putting out volts? Full batteries will be 26.4 volts. So it's got to put out more voltage to charge up the lead acid batteries. So stay tuned. We're going to see what happens when that light turns green, because if it does turn green and it's still putting out the same amount of volts, you're going to want to unplug that because it still can damage the batteries. All right, this is very interesting. So we're standing here and the charger turned green. So we turn the meter back on, and what it's doing is actually toggling back and forth. So it's going green to red, and it is cutting voltage. So that's good news. That means that more than likely when that's green, it's going to totally cut voltage input to the motor or to the batteries. So what we're going to say is give this some more time until that stays solid green. Good stuff to know. All right, so I want to wrap up this stock battery charger test. So we've got it plugged in, green light, and it did drop down from the 30 volts to 28.1. And like I mentioned, 26.4 is a full 24 volt pack. So what we're going to do is we're going to unplug the charger from the wall. And as you can see, the volts will drop down and it'll be the resting voltage of the battery pack. So it'll slowly drop. So my question is, long term, will that stock charger drop down to 0 volts? Or will it still be pumping out voltage? Irregardless, guys, what you want to do, once that light is green, unplug it from the wall. You think that it's not charging anymore, but it really can damage these batteries. You definitely don't want to overcharge. It even says it in the manual not to charge over 24 hours. So hopefully that helps you guys. Okay, so out of the box, like I said, it comes with all the tools. All you got to do is put the handlebars on. We chose to use a ratchet with a 6mm driver on there, and full instruction manual. And another important tip at the end, it says to charge at least 12 hours. I don't really agree with that, but you do have to inflate the tires. Ours were a little bit low, not flat, but if you ride it when the tires are squished down and you hit like a curb or something, you're going to get what's called a snake bite. The rim will pinch and pop your tube. And definitely, if you guys are in cold climates like us, we're getting ready to get a big snowstorm, you want to put this in a basement or a place that's not going to get below freezing. It's legit. The lead acid, the stuff in there, it does not like to get cold. So it's a pain in the butt to actually take the battery out. Actually, I should talk about that. So to take the battery out, there is multiple Phillips head screws, and pay attention where you took those out because there's 3 different lengths: short, medium, and longs. And then on the other side, these ones are actually like a wood thread because it screws into plastic. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to take these out in the winter if it's going to be stored for 4 months. Unplug the battery pack and put it in the basement or somewhere where it's just going to stay warm, and also charge those independently. But that's kind of it, guys. I think this is a cool little unit. If you guys like these kinds of videos, give us that thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned. Maybe if you guys want to see some upgrade videos, like a variable speed throttle upgrade, should we go crazy and do like 36 volt battery conversion? What do you guys want to see? All right, thanks for watching.